Hello, everybody. Thank you for downloading episode 154 of We Got This with Mark and Hal.
Let's do it.
You mean our show?
Yeah, let's go.
On February 15th.
Oh, I thought you meant right now. No, I mean like, let's just start talking. Let's just do the episode.
We're doing, no. Before we do that, let's let people know about the live show that's coming up in Los Angeles.
Do you mean on February 15th at Booty Works in Sherman Oaks?
Yes, and what time will that be?
From 7 to 10. Are you talking about the one that has a Kale vodka sponsor? That's going to come and introduce us to some wonderful vodkas, and also a kombucha sponsor and a snack sponsor, and it's all totally free.
Yeah.
That one where we're going to exercise and determine what the best exercise is with the help of Sydney Benner, the creator of the Workout Flight.
Yes.
You mean the one that's going to be broadcast live on Facebook if people go to facebook.com/groups/We Got This podcast?
Yes.
No. Let's just start the episode.
Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all, best way to cook an egg.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
You know what, Hal?
What?
I think this is going to be an excellent episode.
Oh, Lord. Are you starting already?
Yeah.
How many of these are you going to pop out? I didn't even mean it that way. Why am I doing it?
All right. Let's talk eggs. Are you a guy that eats eggs in the morning?
Oh, my God, Mark. Mm-hmm. Mark Gagliardi. Mark C. Gagliardi.
That's my full name.
Markington.
Not anymore.
Corellius.
Okay.
Gagliardiberg. Listen
Do you
to
eat
me.
eggs every morning?
I don't, but I would.
Why such the big build up to a meh?
I'm going to tell you, my favorite food in this world is scrambled eggs. I love them so much. So much. They are a source of great joy to me. I know exactly how I like them cooked. I know how to cook them very, very well, which I learned from my parents.
Okay.
But I also appreciate, I love a good poached egg. I like hard-boiled egg whites. I do not like hard-boiled egg yolks because they're powdery.
Okay.
I love eggs that are sunny side up.
Okay.
I love eggs. Do you?
I love eggs. And I try to cook them as many different ways as I can.
Okay.
So it sounds like you are beginning this on Team Scrambled. If scrambled eggs are your all-time favorite food.
Yes.
Okay. So I propose that the way we set this episode up,
Okay.
we're going to go Mike Tyson's Punch-Out style or Diggstown style, if you will.
Nobody says that. Go ahead.
You know, Diggstown, it's like basically the movie version of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out if Little Mac was played by Louis Gossett Jr.
Sure.
I'm going to have scrambled eggs battle every other egg preparation.
Wow.
And we'll see if anyone can beat the mighty, cause I tend to agree with you that scrambled eggs are a pretty perfect food. We're going to start with some Glass Joes, if you will.
Okay.
Some ones that are, I think, wonderful egg preparations, but are long shots because they are super fancy. And I think the question here is mostly about just real pedestrian ways to make eggs every day with what you have, like basically with just the egg, some sort of cooking apparatus, right?
Yeah, I mean, and how you prepare them does affect the flavor. It tastes different hard-boiled than it does scrambled than it does sunny side up.
Absolutely.
So we're assuming here, and not to be too assumptive, I don't know if that's a word, we're talking about eggs themselves. We are not talking about, well, if we put a little Florentine in there or if you mix in, we should discuss the omelet because the omelet is different, but you can also have an empty omelet. That is a completely, to me, different style than a scrambled egg.
Okay. So just like empty omelet is basically like what they do at a fast food joint when you get an egg sandwich, right?
It's almost like
it's a yellow disc.
It's a yellow disc that's folded in half.
All right. It's not an omelet unless there's stuff in it, right?
I mean, I would agree with you, but it is
All
a
right.
style of preparation. Maybe that's the Glass Joe then.
Well, that was going to be what you named. That was going to be my Glass Joes that I was going to throw out in just a parade at the beginning.
Okay.
Some of those wonderful preparations being huevos rancheros.
Well, yeah, that's mixed in with other stuff.
Right, exactly.
That's scrambled eggs.
That is scrambled eggs, no, not necessarily. It's,
they could be over easy.
Yeah, you can have them however. Basically, it's just eggs on top of nachos. This is what that's my terrible gringo way of describing it. You've got shakshuka. Have you ever had shakshuka?
I have not.
Shakshuka is, it's also, there's an Italian version. Shakshuka is, I was talking to Katie about this earlier. I think it's the, Israeli version of it.
Okay.
Where it's harissa or like North African version maybe. It's in a little boat or a small dish that is baked eggs. So basically you get a sauce, you crack a couple eggs into it and throw them in the oven.
Sure.
There's an Italian version of that where I like to do it. I just dump them on top of some gravy, some of my dad's homemade gravy, and then put a little cheese on top. It's wonderful. Shirred eggs, another similar thing. The frittata.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Are we eliminating omelets and frittatas?
Yeah, they're the same. And this isn't a preparation. This is a baked egg. Now you're talking about a baked egg, but also, do you ever just have egg? That you're putting egg into a pie shell, essentially.
No,
and you're mixing it with like spinach or ham or cheese, and you're making it's basically breakfast pie. Quiche's breakfast pie.
Quiche's breakfast pie.
Right.
Yeah. So that I wanted to get all of those. That's our Glass Joe. Those are not going to win, but I wanted to mention them because they are wonderful egg preparations. Things I like to do if I have gravy at home. And when I say gravy, I hope our listeners know I mean what most people call Italian marinara or red sauce. My dad always called gravy. You're from Philadelphia, so you know.
I do.
That if I have some of that, then I'm lucky and I will make that as my egg breakfast in the morning.
Have I ever told you my frittata story?
No, you have not.
All right, I'm going to tell it. Senior year of college in Syracuse on Erie Boulevard, there was and may still be a place called Mother's Cupboard.
Mm-hmm.
Mother's Cupboard served their food. They were a great breakfast place. It was very difficult to get in because it's a small place and a lot of people knew about it and wanted to go there. They served their food on enormous plates, in like way bigger than a standard dinner plate. And they had pancakes that were the size of those plates, and you could order like 1 or 2 or 3, and you would go there.
Platter sized pancakes.
Yeah. And the waitress would say, how many I'd like the pancakes. How many do you want? And you'd say 3, and she would size you up and go, you'll have 2.
I remember this story. You did tell me this story.
Did I tell it on this?
I don't know.
Well, let's find out. We'll find out when the listeners tell us. So they had a frittata that was basically everything in their kitchen, scrambled up and served piled high with potatoes. I think potatoes might have even been mixed in on these giant plates with 4 dinner rolls, like north, south, east, and west.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
was this a map themed frittata?
In a way.
Okay.
It was the direction to diarrhea. If you completed eating a frittata, everything, including the rolls, they took a picture of your Polaroid and it went up on the wall. So the walls were covered with pictures of people holding up their empty plate at an angle so you could see that they had made all gone.
Mm-hmm.
So my roommate and one of my best friends, Steve Wargo, he was a heavier guy in college. So we thought he would be able to eat a frittata, and we all convinced him to do it. Like, he was railroaded by 3 other people into eating a frittata. And he ordered it, and it was a massive, I'd never seen one served before. It was a massive amount of food, and he ate all of it. And the picture, which if it still exists, is up on that wall. He looks like he has been like under twilight sleep for 3 days and was just woken up, and it caused major stomach issues for the rest of the day. Not persistent until now, but that when I think of a frittata and it's not served on a humongous plate and is more food than 1 or 2 people can eat, to me, in my head, I'm like, that's not a frittata. I've seen the real frittata.
Come on.
It's huge.
Hal, I make a frittata nearly every morning.
Do you?
For breakfast. Yeah. Yeah. Cause my breakfast consists of whatever vegetables I have in the fridge. This is lately. I try to do this every day.
Right.
Whatever vegetables I have in the fridge, thrown into a pan. Usually it's mushrooms, and spinach are the base.
Sure.
And then, shallots, sometimes, or, chopped garlic, whatever I got, sometimes sun-dried tomatoes.
Oh.
Just throw everything in a pan, and then crack a couple eggs over heat it all up, saute it for a little while. crack a couple eggs over the top of it, and then throw it in the oven or the broiler.
Okay.
And that's just because it's the easiest way to get everything in one dish for breakfast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, here's vegetables, here's my eggs. This is what I have almost every morning. So a frittata doesn't have to be a monstrous, terrible thing.
But isn't it better if it is?
All right. Now that we've battled Glass Joe, let's take a look at our avatar. Let's take a look at our Little Mac avatar, because we're going to pick the absolute best version of scrambled eggs to go, toe to toe against all these other egg preparations. So let me ask you some questions, Hal.
I'm excited. Go ahead.
All right. Do you like your scrambled eggs extra hard? If you had to choose hard or runny, I know there's probably a perfect spot. If you had to choose hard or runny, what do you err on the side of?
Runny every time.
Really?
Every time.
So, okay. You just generally like them runny.
I don't want them to be like gross runny.
Right.
But I want them to be either have just been runny, like that's a perfect one, or if there's a little bit of runniness, I'm okay with that. I like it.
You know what? Let me just ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make your scrambled eggs?
I get a bowl out. I put however many eggs I'm having. And now I'm Weight Watchers and their freestyle program, eggs are 0 points. Now they don't mean have a ton of eggs, but for me, that means have a ton of eggs. So I'll take let's say I take 3 eggs. That's not a ton, but I'm being nice. I take 3 eggs, crack them, put them in the bowl. I take a fork. I whisk them until they're completely mixed. Then I take the pan. I don't use butter right now. I use a tablespoon of cooking oil that I spread into the pan. You know it's ready when you put a little water on it and it sizzles. The eggs go in on this is medium heat. Then you rock the pan sort of back and forth. You're constantly pulling and folding the eggs so it doesn't get too well done anywhere.
Sure.
When they're close to done, you turn off the stovetop, take them off the heat. Then maybe another 15 seconds or so, they go right to the plate and they're ready to go.
Great.
How about you?
Very similar, nearly the same. Crack them into a bowl. I put a tiny bit of water in there.
Okay.
Not milk for me.
Right.
Because milk feels like it makes them a little heavy. I put a little bit of water in there just because the steam this is all from me watching a lot of Alton Brown and Food Network. The steam helps to cook the eggs.
Oh,
so
interesting.
a few drops in there makes them feel lighter because steam will get trapped inside. And also, another thing I heard on there that I loved was, perfect scrambled eggs have 3 ingredients at the base. It's, a little, egg, a little tiny bit of water, and air. So it's whip them until it's all bubbles.
All right.
And just not all, but you know what I mean? Until it's got some, obviously it's got some air inside. Right.
Yeah.
Toss them into a pan and then immediately start stirring them. Just keep them moving the whole time. That's 100%. My main thing is just keep them moving. And even if they don't sizzle huge, I don't want to get like a big when it first goes down.
Right. Because
then that part could get a little overdone. But I cook them. Yeah. I just keep an eye on them. It's like making a risotto.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the concept of perfect scrambled eggs? Like it's perfect in quotes. It's like a style that I guess has gotten famous of scrambled eggs, which is basically exactly that, but then with a little splash of creme fraiche or milk or buttermilk or something tossed in at the end to make them extra deluxe creamy. But I feel like the regular version that you're talking about, like these perfectly made scrambled eggs. I'll tell you another thing that I like to do to scrambled eggs.
Okay.
Is, pinch of salt.
Shame them.
I like shaming my scrambled eggs.
What do you think you're doing in that pan, you dumb eggs? So dumb.
No, I actually sing to them and you can see patterns in the way it cooks. Anyway, going back to egg preparations, I feel like, I put a pinch of salt in, then I put a, thyme. I have sprigs of thyme in a coffee can on my counter, that I've just kind of let dry. And then 1 sprig for, bowl of scrambled eggs. That's, mwah.
Okay. I'm not a huge thyme guy, so I don't,
So that's my version. It's basically the same as yours. Right. So we have a baseline of what perfect scrambled eggs are.
Yes.
Obviously, we can both describe them in such detail that we really do love them.
Oh, they're so great. What do you like with, I'll tell you my favorite meal as a kid. I still love it. We would go to the Country Club Diner on Cottman Avenue in Northeast Philadelphia. Still there. Great bakery as well. And I would I'd start with matzo ball soup. A little bowl of matzo ball soup, and then scrambled eggs, French fries, toasted bagel on the side.
Ooh.
And you save the bagel until the end. You put butter
and a little jam, so it's dessert.
For me, it's like grape jelly, and then I get another grape jelly and dip it in. I know I am fat. It just occurred to me now. I finally hear it. I hear it now.
Did you hear it?
But it's so good. And I like ketchup on my eggs, which I know some people do not like.
It's fine.
But that's where
every once in a while, if the ketchup from my hash browns at like a diner gets on my eggs, it doesn't bother me. It's a nice little extra burst. I
do like a full like lattice work on top.
Yeah. I like the purity of just egg, a little bit of butter, pinch of salt, a little bit of thyme.
If you make them well, I've also had them without. I mean, I loved them with ketchup when I was a kid, and I still enjoy that. But also, if you make them well, you can just eat them as they are, and it's fine. Some people Jennifer likes to mix a little cheese in.
Mm-hmm.
There are people, if you're out there and you do not like scrambled eggs, I'm going to bet that you scramble them in the pan, which is a big mistake because then you don't get an even mix. You get a lot.
You mean like crack the egg into the pan and
yes,
then, no.
Yeah. If you do that, then you probably do not like them as much, and they wind up being harder eggs. You fry them up. Right. Too much. It's just everything's uneven.
If I do that, if I'm mixing it up in the pan at all, that's because I am putting it on a sandwich or a burrito or something.
Right, you're just frying.
I crack an egg. Yeah, it doesn't. At that point, I kind of like that marbliness.
Okay,
a little bit of yolk, a little bit of white, mixing throughout. But that's not scrambled eggs. That's just this egg is technically cooked enough to be in my burrito.
Okay,
right. And that I will crack it into the pan and then use the butt end of the shell to just pop the yolk right there. So then let it kind of marble throughout.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to come at you. I'm coming at you with some rapid fire, not necessarily rapid fire. We'll stop and discuss each of them.
Sure.
But some egg preparations.
All right.
Over easy. Does it beat, and so all of these, the question is going to be, does it beat perfect scrambled eggs?
I love here's the thing. As a dish by itself, no.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give me toast, give me 3 slices of wheat toast and 3 eggs over easy, or even 2, and I'm great. I put some salt on top. I break the yolks. Then I chop it all up.
I feel like with an over easy egg, you are required to have other things besides the over easy egg.
Because you want the yolk. And you soak up the yolk with the toast, or you put it on the toast to take bites, and then you use it as
but that goodness. You can't.
I learned that from my mother, and it was
it's delicious.
The greatest thing she ever taught me.
I will break open the top of it and dip bacon in it like it's its own little cup.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. That's smart. Yeah. You can dip fries in it.
Sure.
That's not my preferred dip.
It's a dip. I mean, the over easy egg is the Papa John's garlic sauce dip cup of egg preparations. You need that bread crust. You need that pizza crust to dunk in. You need something to dunk in the yolk. Unless though, a way I like to do it is, I will eat the white all around it and leave that yolk. And then the whole yolk goes in the mouth, and it's like an egg gusher in the morning.
Yeah, that's
just
pretty great.
Pops, and then you get that whole mouth blast of egg yolk.
I do love that. And I do love egg whites on their own. Egg whites I don't like scrambled as much.
Yeah, they need that. I feel like there's no fat in them, so they get real bland real quick.
Right, 100%. But I love an over easy, or even over hard. The egg white is good. But if you're any of the overs, it's got to be over. I don't like
over
it
easy, over medium, over hard. For those who aren't as excellent at this as Hal.
So the over medium, it's viscous. It's not as it doesn't have the liquidity of over easy, and then over hard, it's basically like almost a gel. That is, I do not like that at all. That to me is like,
it's like it tastes like a flat hard boiled egg.
Yeah. And to me doing that is the equivalent of a well done steak. Is like, oh, you really don't like this that much, so you have to have it cooked almost beyond recognition to eat it.
Or it's going in a burrito or a sandwich. So you don't want a runny egg yolk in it. Do you want a runny egg yolk in a sandwich?
I don't. Well, I don't.
It does kind of create its own little sandwich sauce.
I mean, you know what would be good if you had
both of us knee jerk no, and then we both went, actually, wait a minute.
I think I would like that, because then when it breaks, it goes on the plate, and then you can dip the whole sandwich in it and eat it. But I would generally like the way I prefer scrambled eggs to be done. I like that in a burrito. Like I like it done because then I feel it's like it's done with care.
Yeah.
And that's important to me. Like, I want to feel like the food was made with care.
All right. So speaking of versions of egg preparation that require care.
Yes.
I'm going to move on now to the poached egg.
Okay.
Are you a fan of poached eggs?
I am, because I really like, a Benedict.
There you go. So for those who don't know, how a poached egg is made, it is by dropping a shellless egg. Unlike dropping with a hard-boiled egg, you put the whole egg in boiling water. This is an egg unshelled, dropped into almost boiling water.
Right.
Or a broth or, and it cooked in water.
Yes.
Gently cooked in water.
Sure.
And that, I have a trick that I love for those who are looking for poached egg tricks. Once it looks like it's about to boil, tiny little bit of vinegar in the water. That helps it all stay together and firm up. You put a spoon in the pot and spin it around. And then when you drop the egg into the middle, you've got this little vortex in there and it just goes, and it makes a perfect little pouch. The egg wraps around itself and makes it look like a little, egg sack.
I like it. So you basically, it's like you're flushing the egg down a toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you eat it.
So you don't like poached eggs then, if that's how you're describing it?
No, that's what I think of.
That's fair.
I never
feel like
think
you're coloring your viewpoint of the poached egg.
No, I do like, I like a poached egg for the same reason I like an over easy egg, but it holds together better because it's a single,
right.
It could be a single bite. For me, like when I eat stuff at home, Jennifer calls it horsing when I put a giant
you mentioned
bite.
horsing.
Yeah. I like to horse a poached egg. I'll horse a poached egg.
Sure.
I
it's delicious. You get that same Gushers burst.
But I like it when it's almost an over easy poach and it's too, it feels like it's too easy to overdo.
It's way too easy to screw up a poached egg. That said, that to me, the poached egg is my favorite egg preparation because out of all of them, I think it's the most elegant, the most elevated. To get it right requires finesse.
Sure.
And that's why I like putting it on top of that to me is a much more fun version. Whereas you will dip into an over easy egg. That version to me is you break it over the top and let it just kind of run into a thing. Like a poached egg on top of corned beef hash is mwah. I'm going to do that a lot. That kissing my fingertips thing.
Great. I'm glad that I hope you and your fingertips are really happy together.
Yeah. You know what? It's about time. We've been toying with it for years.
Here's my thing.
What's your downside of the poached egg?
If I get a bite that doesn't have yolk in it, there's almost no flavor to it at all. Because you're cooking it in water. If you cook it in a broth.
That's why I do it with a little bit of vinegar.
But then it tastes like vinegar.
No, it just gives it a little
It tastes like your feet after you've been running for a really long time.
All right. I can see
vinegar
that.
feet.
I don't know. This one to me stays in late. This one to me stays in, as a contender against, maybe we should have left this one to be the bald bull instead of the great tiger of this.
Or is he Don Flamenco? Or is Don Flamenco?
Oh, he's going to come back later.
That was the over easy egg.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I prefer an over easy egg to
a poached egg.
To a poached egg.
All right.
But I'm willing to concede out of the two. I don't think either of them are better than a scrambled egg to me.
I feel like at this point, I think I'm with you on that. As far as I think a poached egg is excellent and wonderful and beautiful, but in the moment, thinking about it more, we just did last week. It was the pedestrian pencil versus the pedestrian pen. It was of the masses, and the poached egg isn't the egg of the masses. Like everyone can't perfectly poach an egg.
Right.
Though I think everyone can try. Who knows? Who am I to say they can't?
You can try, but I think the idea that part of it is flavorless because of how you cook it, even if you put vinegar in.
All right.
That to me is what disqualifies it. That the finished product requires something else to have a good taste to it.
Well, that means that also if the finished product requiring something else, then the over easy and all the over eggs are out.
Right.
Because they require something to dip. So we're still with our trusty.
Yeah.
Our trusty scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
I feel like what are there's only one major preparation left.
Well, then let's take a break.
Okay.
Because these things take a while to make.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're cooking and knocking around in the bowl, in the pot, I understand how to cook. I'm very good in a kitchen, I swear. You can hear about some of the other great shows on the Maximum Fun Network.
The Greatest Discovery is Maximum Fun's newest podcast, and it's about the new Star Trek show, Star Trek Discovery.
It is not about the Discovery Channel. It is not about the Space Shuttle Discovery. It is not about any kind of actual discovery.
That's right, it's about a pay-to-watch Star Trek series.
That probably no one will watch.
But we're watching it, Ben. We're watching it every week, and we're talking about it and giving it the classic Greatest Gen treatment. What is that treatment, you ask?
Ribald jokes and very puerile sex puns.
It's what we do.
It's just two buddies joking around about Star Trek, a thing they love but are a little bit embarrassed to love.
You don't have to know anything about Star Trek to love the show, so download our podcast every Tuesday at MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts. It'll be great.
Hey, readers!
All of you bookworms,
Comic geeks,
library junkies,
literary fiction lovers,
bibliophiles,
and nerds.
Want to get more out of your reading life?
Listen to Reading Glasses.
I'm Bria Grant.
And I'm Mallory O'Mara.
We want to help you read better.
Join us every Thursday on Maximum Fun's new podcast while we talk about book culture and solve your reader problems.
Reading Glasses will teach you how to vanquish your to-be-read pile,
connect with other readers,
and get more reading into your busy day.
No matter what you read or how you read it,
we'll help you do it better.
That's cute.
Okay.
All right. The only major one it feels like left is the hard-boiled or the soft-boiled egg.
Right. What's the difference? The soft-boiled, is the yolk still runny?
The yolk's still runny, yeah. I love a good soft-boiled egg, which is hard to do.
Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got what is the white like? I don't think I've ever had a soft-boiled egg.
It may win. And
is it liquid,
this may be a blind
or is
winner.
it gel? Is it like a gelatinous?
It depends on how soft-boiled it is. You can soft-boil it to where the entire egg white is cooked and the yellow in the middle, the yolk, is runny.
So it's like a lava cake of egg.
Right. Which is kind of what a poached egg is too.
Sure.
Then you can also have a version where,
although it's like a good, well-cooked, hard-boiled or boiled egg white is like, has real, there's something wispy to a poached egg. With a hard-boiled egg,
as it's all packed in still.
Yeah.
That's true. It doesn't have tendrils like a poached egg often has.
It doesn't look like Cthulhu.
You're really hating on the poached egg.
I'm not hating
the most
on
elegant egg preparation, and you're calling it the Cthulhu.
So elegant. Well, sorry. Let me put my pinky up while I'm insulting it. Will that make it better?
Yes. Soft-boiled eggs require that weird little cup. You ever seen a soft-boiled egg cup?
Is that the thing?
Because they're harder to peel.
Oh, and you have to like hit it.
You
with
tap
the
it with
spoon?
you use a serrated knife. You can tap it with a spoon and crack it open.
Right.
I like the serrated knife approach where you just go crink once across with a serrated knife, and it just cracks enough of the egg open, and then you pop the top off.
And then you eat it with a spoon.
You eat it with a spoon, yeah.
Do you remember Brain Games on HBO? It was like a show for kids, but they would crack a guy's head open, and then all the thoughts would come out, and they go, "Brain Games is now over."
Oh, yes. I do remember that.
That's what I'm thinking of right now. That and when they ate the monkey brains and
chilled monkey brains.
Yeah, chilled monkey brains.
So this one requires another apparatus. Again, I know.
I don't want to potentially eat shell.
Now, here's the thing.
I will mistakenly eat shell, and I'll be like, F this.
While you're talking about mistakenly eating shell, the hard-boiled egg, if you come across a hard-boiled egg that is difficult to peel, if I come across a hard-boiled egg that is difficult to peel, I will throw a chair out a window. Nothing is as immediately in the moment frustrating to me on a base level of me want food, me can't get food, food in shell breaking off into teeny tiny little shell dots.
You're a very easygoing person. Anybody who meets you realizes this guy's real chill.
It's very kind.
Everything's water off a duck's back. But I have seen you, I feel like I'm privileged and that I'm in some inner circle because I've seen you lose your temper.
Always at inanimate object.
At an inanimate object. I saw you swat a bottle.
Yeah.
but I've seen it before. I feel like not everybody gets to see that, right?
No, I try to keep that under wraps. Look, I have infinite patience with people and zero patience for inanimate objects that are not functioning the way that I want them to.
It's incredible. It's everybody's got a point. Everybody's got a point is what I'm saying. But
let's talk about.
I agree with you. Jennifer, who's in the other room right now, makes great hard-boiled eggs.
What's her technique?
I think, well, you always put salt in the water to help it boil. And then you only boil them. You boil them like it's a full boil for like 15 minutes or something like that. And then you take them off and they sit there, and then you can peel them immediately. Like you can hold it under, they're hot when you drain and you hold them, but like they're
not coming straight out of boiling.
Yeah, you do it, and then the shell slips right off. And they're great.
Now, it's less manageable than going, because some people say, have the water already boiling so you can time the egg, like a 6-minute egg. Have the eggs room temperature and the water already boiling, then you can basically just, apply the same amount of time and it'll always be a uniform thing.
That's probably better.
For me, I like to, similarly, I will put the eggs into cold water. Take eggs, put them in cold water, put it on the stove. The second it starts boiling, turn it off and leave it on the stove for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And they don't overcook. That was one of these. For some reason, I've looked up online in the past, not even for this episode, egg tips.
Cause it's so simple.
And cooking an egg is, it's the most basic thing to do.
You can mess it up very easily. And the hard-boiled eggs.
Use old eggs. Old eggs, make hard-boiled eggs real easy to peel.
My mother-in-law says that.
Now, the hard-boiled egg, a perfect plate of, this is the one that I know I said it about poached, but I feel like this is the biggest contender against the, scrambled egg.
Okay.
Because everything else we've pretty much eliminated, right? Right. Your omelet disc is not a thing.
No. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, if you want that, go to Subway, because that's what they put on your sandwich in the morning. It's the same thing as getting a regular Subway sandwich, except they put a disc of egg on it, and now it's a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, and do you think Subway likes you? No, they don't want you in there.
Yeah, it is
Get
early.
Out, please.
Yeah, they just got up.
We have breakfast now? Ugh. Oh, why? Why? Now people are going to come in. We hate people. We're Subway.
The hard-boiled egg is... its portability is what gives it yes, you use it in a lot of different things, like, a lot of salads, egg salad, tuna salad, and regular salads,
deviled
salad.
Eggs.
Deviled eggs are a dish that is based on the hard-boiled egg. But really, for me, the main thing is I can have a couple of hard-boiled eggs and just throw them in my bag for the day.
You never grabbed a clump of scrambled eggs and just shoved it in your pocket for a train ride? Why not? They're so good. And afterwards, when you take your pants off at the end of the day, you can turn the pocket inside out and you get a second helping.
Ugh. Gross.
That's why they call me the human Tide stick.
Have you seen the new, there's a new egg preparation that is, sweeping the nation if late night and early morning infomercials are the barometer of what's sweeping the nation.
Tell me.
Basically, it is a microwave egg cooker. I don't know if it's microwave or you boil it like when you're canning stuff, you dunk it in water and take it out. But it is an egg-shaped egg canister. And what you do is you crack an egg into it and it is egg-shaped and then you cook it. So it's basically you're poaching an egg inside a mold that gives it the same shape as an egg. So they call it make hard-boiled eggs without having to peel them.
How are we still a country?
I don't know.
So
what's it going to be? Is it going to be the portable perfection of a hard-boiled egg? I know you think the yolk is.
I don't like a powdery yolk. This is what it comes down to.
But you don't have to make it powdery. You can you can time it a little bit less, and then it gets that, sort of smushy consistency of a over medium egg.
I'll tell you what I do when I make a batch of hard-boiled eggs, or when Jennifer does and I'm peeling them. I peel them, I open them up, I put the yolks in one bowl and I put the egg whites in another. And then when I'm done,
because you're always making deviled eggs.
Yeah. When I'm done, I throw out the shells and I throw out those stupid yolks.
Really?
So they can burn in powdered egg taste heaven which is actually hell. Surprise.
Hal, look, I know that this show, a lot of times it comes down to personal taste.
Yes.
I don't think I'm going to let slide that your personal distaste for the flavor of a hard-boiled egg yolk, I'm not going to let that automatically preclude it from a win, because it is a hard-boiled egg that keeps the engines of America going. Okay.
Let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
You need to leave your home at 9:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You sleep through your alarm. Now it's 9:10. You got to make breakfast. You've got eggs.
Uh-huh.
How are you going to cook them?
Oh, I have a dozen hard-boiled eggs in my fridge at all time. I'm just going to throw a couple in my bag.
Oh, do you want to check your bag for the other 900 you threw in there that you forgot to eat? Remember last week you were talking about how you kept your backpack. I can only imagine where the eggs have gotten to now. They're probably chickens. You're going to reach in one day and just pull out like a full chicken.
Holy cow, there's a Camilla in my bag. Hey, Camilla.
Oh, there's a Gonzo in here, too.
Oh, my gosh, there's a Gonzo in my bag, too. Hi-ho. And a Kermit. What's happening? All right. So I'm not going to...
You're not going to take it?
No. I'm not going to take that. I'm going to say that we've got two. I will give it minimal weight, personal taste and personal preferences.
How about this?
Should have some weight in this, but it's the, these are all hard.
I don't accept that the winning criteria would be, I can throw a couple of them in my bag.
Well, yeah, portability is a big criteria. For food, it's a modern day, Hal. We got to keep things moving.
To me, it's flavor. And what I like about the scrambled egg above all of these other styles is that it is every single bite is complete egg.
Yeah.
Every single bite. With an over easy, when we talked about how we ate around the yolk, or we used the yolk as dipping. It wasn't like you mashed it all together and ate it. With a hard-boiled egg, I realize you do get bites that are everything because you eat through the yolk, but it's still, to me, it's like, it's not blended. It's separate. You eat the egg white and the egg yolk. When you make deviled eggs, you are separating them. And then the egg white is just sort of the plate. It's just an edible plate or bowl.
You know what, Hal?
Yeah. You've
inspired me.
Okay.
I want you to think of the United States of America as an egg. For too long, that egg has been separated into the white part and the yolk part.
Okay.
Because you have just put into my mind the image of envisioning a world where it's all a beautiful pale egg world where everything tastes delicious in harmony. The portability of we knew that the scrambled egg was such a contender that it was going to go all the way to the end, and we pitted it against everything. The hard-boiled egg put up a good fight, even against your bologna powder egg yolk thing.
It's legitimate. Go ahead. Nobody eats just the yolks, do they? And if so, have you taken the Turing test? Because you might be a robot.
A bowl of egg yolk.
I don't know that you aren't. Maybe that's the Turing test. When that's how you know somebody is like AI.
Yeah.
We've reached artificial intelligence because they think that the egg yolks are fine to eat by themselves.
I wasn't done with my analogy.
Who are these
America,
people?
Hal.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's like America. Okay, now I'm done.
I mean, that's got to be it, right?
Say people of the world.
No, I just want to.
Yes, I know. Look, Hal, I'm with you.
I feel like it's very important.
Yeah.
That this decision be because we believe it is the best, not because it's my favorite. I'm cognizant of that. And
yes. And it's, though I will say it is also my favorite. I said that at the beginning with you. I love eggs in all forms. I love a beautiful, elegant poached egg. I love a portable, hard-boiled, or even soft or medium-boiled egg. You don't want to keep a soft-boiled egg too portable. I love an omelet. I love a frittata. I love shakshuka. I love the Italian version. The tastiest one to me is the scrambled egg. That's why we put it all the way through to the finals. And you know what? And it's a metaphor for a perfect society.
People of the world. What was his name in, is it Little Mac? Little Joe, right?
Little Mac.
Little Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what Little Mac just did? He popped the star out of King Hippo's head. And when Mike Tyson came in for his flurry of punches, Little Mac skipped side to side and he knocked Mike Tyson out. Good night, Mike Tyson. You know who's a bad, bad man? Scrambled eggs is a bad, bad man. Scrambled eggs are great. They're so simple. They're so easy to make. Everybody loves them. They go well with other dishes. I get it. I know you like your eggs over hard, you robot. Or maybe you like them over easy. That's fine. But just know, this isn't about you not eating other kinds of eggs. It's about you recognizing that the best way to prepare an egg is to scramble it. I don't care if it's a brown egg or a white egg, extra large, grade A, grade 2A.
I stopped listening a while ago.
I don't know what any of those things are. And don't get egg beaters. Do you remember when egg beaters were a thing?
Ugh.
We got those
Just
for
do
a
egg
while.
whites.
Oh, they're so bad. Egg beaters are so bad. What are they made of? They're not egg.
Yeah, they're part egg.
But they're
Hal, you already said people of the
what
world.
else? But wait, what else are they?
You
made
already
of?
said people
no,
of the world.
But this is important.
No, it's not.
What
They're
else
egg
are they
beaters. They're
made
not.
of?
They didn't win.
They're
all
so
others are
bad.
eliminated now. It doesn't matter.
Eggs still come
I'm
in
never eating a
carton.
poached egg again.
Ever?
Well, apparently not. Go ahead, declare your victor.
Boy, there's a great place in Pasadena that does Benedict's.
Say the end
They're
of the thing.
so good. I can't remember the name of it, but one of them is a barbecue pork. It's barbecue pork on top, and then the egg, and then the hollandaise sauce.
All right, that's delicious.
So good.
All right.
Not as good as scrambled eggs, though. Suckers! Asked and answered.
This topic is closed. But there are many more topics. So reach out to us on Twitter at We Got This Tweets. Check out the Maximum Fun subreddit or
go to our email via sending an email from your email. What address do you use? We got this podcast at gmail.com. Where else can you go? You can go to our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/we got this podcast. And that is where on February 15th, you can watch a live stream of Mark and I doing best exercise at Booty Works in Sherman Oaks, California, under the watchful eye of Sydney Benner.
it's going to be a great show,
And
y'all.
If you can make it there, show up in movement clothes. You can be part of it too.
This is not a sit and watch show. This is you better come to play.
And also, there's going to be food and drinks afterwards. It's a real party.
Oh yeah.
So come and check that out. Thank you to producer Ken Plume, researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kelman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
Thanks as always to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song respectively. And thanks to you, our listeners, for giving us a chance to sit down and talk about the really important things. So if I may offer you one little extra bonus gift at the end of this episode, 007-373-5963. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
We got this.
What the hell is that?
That's the code to get to Tyson.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.